You have a relationship with your body that most people would not understand. You have pushed it further than it wanted to go, asked more of it than was reasonable, and when it slowed down, you found a way to override the signal and keep moving, and for a long time, that worked. You built things, survived things, moved through things that required a body and a will working in extreme coordination, but there is a cost to living at full acceleration that Aries rarely wants to acknowledge. The cost lives in the joints, in the fatigue that sleep doesn't fully touch, in the inflammation that arrives when the system has been running hot for too long without recovery. You may have started to notice that what used to restore you no longer does, that a good night's rest leaves you almost the same as before, that the energy you once accessed freely now requires more effort to reach than it used to. This is not aging. This is not weakness. This is a body that has been loyal beyond what was asked of it, signaling that the terms need to change. Take one slow breath in. Feel the deliberate weight of your body, settling, slowing, the opposite of its natural Aries instinct. Let this be the beginning of a different kind of relationship with the physical self. 2026 is not the year you push through one more time. It is the year you learn that the strongest thing an Aries can do is choose the body before the body takes the choice away. The body you have been pushing past is not your enemy. It is the most loyal partner you have ever had. It has shown up for every early morning, every late night, every demand you placed on it without asking whether it had the reserves to meet that demand. It never refused. It adapted. It compensated. It found another way to keep you moving even when it was running on nothing. And what it is asking for now is not much relative to what it has given. It is asking for the same attentiveness you bring to every goal, every project, every person you decide matters. It is asking to be one of those things, not the last thing, not the thing you get to when everything else is handled, the first thing, the foundation thing, the thing that makes all the other things possible. In 2026, that is exactly what it becomes. There is a specific exhaustion that belongs to Aries, and almost no one talks about it honestly. It is not the exhaustion of someone who has done nothing. It is the exhaustion of someone who has done everything at maximum intensity for so long that the baseline for normal shifted without them noticing. You have probably minimized it, told yourself you just needed a better schedule, a better diet, one more week to get through, and then you would properly rest. But the week never quite arrived, because you are an Aries, and there is always something worth moving toward, something worth starting, something that genuinely excites you enough to override the signal that says slow down, and underneath the minimizing, there is something that is harder to say out loud. The fear that if you stop, if you actually rest, if you let the body set the pace instead of the mind, you will fall behind in a way you cannot recover from. That fear is worth naming because it has been driving the machine long after the machine needed maintenance. You were never taught that recovery is a form of progress. You were taught that the one who moves fastest wins, and your Aries nature absorbed that completely. But a body running on empty does not move faster. It moves with more effort, less precision, and far greater cost. Today the lesson changes. Rest is not falling behind. Rest is how the body builds what endurance alone never could. The fear underneath the pushing is understandable. For an Aries, stopping feels like losing ground. It feels like the world continues moving while you stand still, and that everything you have built could unravel in the pause. But that fear has never been based on evidence. It has been based on a story, absorbed early, that your value is tied directly to your velocity, that you are only as worthy as your last output, that the moment you stop producing, you stop mattering. That story is not true. It has never been true, and the body you have been sacrificing to maintain it deserves to know that. In 2026, you begin operating from a different story, one where rest is strategic, where recovery is part of the process, where the body is not the price you pay for progress, but the vehicle through which real lasting progress is made. That story is available to you right now, and the body, which has been waiting for exactly this, is already responding to it. Find the place in your body where the accumulated cost lives right now. For many Aries, it is in the head, a low, persistent tension that has become so familiar it no longer registers as unusual, or in the adrenals, a wired but tired quality, alert on the surface, depleted underneath. Place your awareness there, not with the impatience that wants to fix it in the next 30 seconds, with the kind of attention you would give to something genuinely worth understanding. That place has been compensating for a long time. It has been borrowing from tomorrow to get through today, and it has done this without complaint, because that is what a body loyal to an Aries does. Breathe into it now, a long, slow breath moving directly toward the tension, the depletion, the place that has been running the emergency protocol so consistently it forgot there was another setting. On your exhale, release one layer of the identity that made pushing through feel mandatory. The belief that your value is tied to your output, the belief that stillness means stagnation, the belief that a body asking for rest is a body that is letting you down. Let that layer leave on the breath, slowly, without force, in the Aries way of releasing something, which is rarely easy but always decisive. Feel the subtle shift in the chest, the slight expansion that follows when something held too long is finally allowed to move. That shift is the body beginning to trust you again. Do not rush past it. Let it land. The head tension and adrenal depletion you are breathing into right now are not random symptoms. They are the precise physical signature of a nervous system that has been in overdrive for so long, it no longer knows how to downregulate without help. The adrenals, which produce the very hormones that fuel Aries fire, are exhausted not from weakness, but from overuse. They have been asked to produce emergency-level output for situations that were not emergencies. Every deadline treated as a crisis, every challenge met with maximum force, every moment of stillness interpreted as a threat, triggering another release of the stress chemistry that was designed for survival, not for daily life. As you breathe into that place right now, you are giving the adrenals something they rarely receive, a signal that says the emergency is over, that the body is safe, that it can begin to replenish, that the reserves being rebuilt right now will not immediately be called upon again, that this time the rest will actually be allowed to do its work. Feel that signal moving through the body, and let the body believe it. Who are you when your body is not a machine you are managing, but a home you are living in? You are someone whose natural energy, when genuinely replenished, is more powerful than anything you have accessed through sheer will. You are someone who moves with a precision and a force that is only possible from a body that is actually well, not just functional. The Aries who steps into full vitality in 2026 does not slow down permanently. They slow down strategically. They recover intentionally, and they return to action with a quality of energy that the old way of running could never produce. Place both hands on your body right now, wherever feels like it needs the contact most, the chest, the belly, the sides of the head. Feel the warmth of your own hands meeting your own skin. This is not a small act for an Aries. This is you, turning the same attentiveness you bring to everything external, fully inward, toward the body that makes everything else possible. Say it in the body, not as a goal but as a current truth. I am someone whose body is strong, resilient, and actively healing. I am someone who gives their physical self the same drive they give everything else. I am someone whose vitality is not in decline. It is in restoration, right now, breath by breath. Let that settle below the surface of thought. Feel where it is accepted and where resistance remains. Breathe into the resistance. The body is listening more carefully than you know. The Aries who inhabits full health in 2026 does not look like someone who has dialed back their ambition. They look like someone who has finally understood that sustainable power is the only kind of power worth having. That the energy available to a genuinely rested, genuinely nourished, genuinely tended Aries body is not less than what was available before. It is exponentially more, because it is real rather than borrowed, because it accumulates rather than depletes, because it arrives in the morning without being manufactured and sustains through the day without requiring emergency fuel. That quality of energy is what you are healing toward right now. Not a diminished version of yourself, a version that is more fully operational than you have been in years. More present, more precise, more alive inside the body that carries everything you are. That version is already beginning. It started in this breath. Feel into a specific physical sensation now. The feeling of waking up, and the first thing you notice is energy that arrived without you having to manufacture it. The feeling of moving through a day and the body being a resource rather than something you are managing around. The feeling of genuine physical aliveness, not the adrenaline version you have been using as a substitute, but the deep, clean vitality that comes from a system that is actually well. Let that feeling begin in the center of the chest and expand outward, down through the belly, into the legs, upward through the shoulders and the throat, arriving finally at the face, softening the tension around the eyes and jaw. Aries, you were built for intensity, but the highest expression of Aries energy is not constant output. It is the ability to move with full power when the moment calls for it, and to recover completely when it does not. That cycle, power and recovery, action and rest, is the actual source of sustainable vitality, and your body is ready to live inside that cycle, rather than running at permanent maximum with no return phase. The vitality you remember is not behind you. It is waiting on the other side of a relationship with your body that is built on respect rather than demand. And that relationship is beginning right now. In this breath, in this deliberate slowing, in this moment of choosing the body before it makes the choice itself, the sensation of genuine aliveness you are practicing right now is not unfamiliar. You have touched it before, in moments after real rest, after a day spent in complete alignment, after a morning where the body arrived in the day already without needing to be dragged into it. Those moments were not accidents, they were previews. They were the body showing you what is possible when the relationship between you is one of mutual respect rather than constant extraction. In 2026, those moments become the norm rather than the exception. The waking up clear becomes expected. The energy that accumulates rather than depletes becomes your baseline. The feeling of being at home inside your own body, comfortable and capable and genuinely alive, becomes simply how things are. That is the vitality you are manifesting right now, not as a wish, as a decision. And decisions made in the Aries body, felt fully and held completely, always become reality. Before this closes, stay in the stillness just a little longer. Notice the quality of your breath now. Notice the body, where it has softened, where the vigilance has eased, where there is a quiet that was not present when you arrived. This is what it feels like to be an Aries who has given the body permission to heal. Not someday, not after the next thing is finished, but now, in this body, in this year. 2026 is not the year your health becomes another project you are managing at full speed. It is the year you discover that a body genuinely cared for moves faster, recovers quicker, and builds something more durable than anything you created while running on empty. Your vitality is returning in mornings that feel different than they have recently, in an energy that accumulates rather than spikes and crashes, in a body that surprises you with what it can do when it is finally given what it actually needs. When you leave this moment, move slowly, at least for the next few minutes. Let the body set the pace, just briefly, just enough to feel what that is like. Notice whether it feels like weakness or like something else entirely. You are an Aries at the beginning of a physical era, where your greatest strength is no longer how far you can push, but how completely you can restore, where the body is not a vehicle you are wearing out in service of the mission, where the body is the mission. Take one final breath. Let it be full, let it be slow. Let the exhale be longer than feels natural, and know in the quiet certainty that lives beneath all Aries fire, that your body has already begun to heal. It was only ever waiting for you to stop long enough to let it. In 2026, you stop long enough, and what the body builds in that space, the real, accumulated, sustainable vitality that was always waiting beneath the pushing, becomes the foundation of everything that comes next. Not a body recovered from damage, a body returned to its original power, clean, strong, fully alive, and entirely yours.